Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Raz, and in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to file 1601EQ using the EBIR forms. So if you're ready, let's start. Actually, I have already a video for this, a tutorial video for this. How do we file 601EQ and 061E? But I think I need to redo the video because I have committed a mistake there, and that was the date. I unintentionally said something which is very wrong, and I think I need to redo the video. And also, aside from that, I also want to introduce you my working paper template, which I'm gonna share to you at the end of this video. Okay, anyway, we have already discussed the how to file 061E using the BIR forms in my other video, and I hope you have watched that already before you go into this video. And in this video, we will focus our tutorial on how do we file the 1601EQ using the eBIR forms. So 1601EQ is actually the quarterly remittance return for creditable income taxes withheld, or the expanded withholding taxes. So who will file 1601EQ? It is said that any individual, whether or non-individual, whether corporations or partnerships, considered as a withholding agent who is required to withhold and deduct taxes on their income payments subject to expanded or creditable withholding taxes. So those taxpayers who are required by law and by the BIR to withhold taxes on their income payments, they should be filing this return. For example, if you are a BIR registered taxpayer, and then in your COR or certificate of registration, it is indicated that you should be withholding or you should be filing 1601EQ, then you should be filing or you should be withholding taxes on your income payments. So, for example, if you are leasing an office building and you are paying the lessor, you are renting, okay, so you are required to withhold 5% on your income payments to the lessor. So that means that before you pay the lessor, the owner of the property, you will have to deduct the 5% EWT, or the 5% withholding tax. Okay, so or if you are hiring or consulting someone and you are paying them professional fees, you are also required to withhold certain rate. It's either 5%, 10%, or 15%. It depends. Okay, or if you are one of those top withholding agents, top taxpayers, you are required to withhold 1% on your purchases of goods or 2% on your purchases of services. There are many withholding taxes rates, and we should know this because once we fail to withhold the tax, there is a possibility that our claims for expenses might be disallowed when the BIR audits us. So for example, if you are claiming rent expense on your income tax return, and then it was found out that you failed to withhold the 5% withholding tax on your income payments to the lessor, then that rent expense will be disallowed. Or if you are claiming repairs and maintenance and you have failed to withhold the tax, again, that's also a disallowance. So as much as possible, if you are required to withhold any taxes on your income payments, you should be withholding that. Because anyway, that is not the tax imposed on your part, okay, as a taxpayer. It is not a tax on your money, on your income, but it is a tax on the supplier or seller. Ikaw lang yung withholding agent. Okay? Before you pay them, before you pay the seller, because you are the buyer, before you pay them, you withhold a certain rate, and that amount that you withheld must be remitted to the BIR, of course. Okay? So, the purpose of the 1601EQ is to remit on quarterly basis the taxes withheld from supplier of goods or services. So in remitting the withholding taxes on our income payments, there are two forms involved here. The BIR Form 0619E and the BIR Form 1601EQ. And as we have discussed in our previous video, we are using, or we will be using, the 0619E once we are remitting the monthly remittance of withholding taxes. And that means for the first 2 months of every quarter, we will be using the 0619E. But for the third month of every quarter, we will be using the 1601EQ. If we will be filing for the month of January, any taxes withheld during the month of January, we will remit that on or before February 10. And any taxes withheld during the month of February, you will be remitting the taxes withheld on or before March 10. Okay, using the 0619E. But for the third month of the quarter, for the month of March, we will be using the 1601EQ. And the deadline for filing will be on the last day of the following month. So the last day of the following month is April 30, then that will also be the deadline for filing the 1601EQ. Okay, so again, if you are quite confused, you can go to the other video about how to file 0619E, the monthly remittance of creditable withholding taxes. So for the period covered, first quarter, for the month of March, the third month of the quarter, so the deadline will be on April 30. And for the third month of the second quarter, that's June. So second quarter covers the months of April, May, and June. So for the first 2 months, April, May, we will be using 0619E and deadline 10th day. On or before the 10th day. And then for the third month of the quarter, for the second quarter, that's June, the deadline would be on or before July 31 next month, okay? And for the third quarter, that's September, okay? So the deadline will be on or before October 30. And for December, for the fourth month, for the last month of the year, of the quarter, the deadline will be on or before January 31 of the next year. Now that you have an idea of how and when to file the 1601EQ, now let's have an example. So I have here a working paper template, which I have already introduced you in my other video. I use this template for the reconciliation of all EWT transactions. So every time I have EWT transactions or transactions which are subjected to withholding taxes, ini-encode ko siya dito so that automatically it will summarize everything before I start filing the 1601EQ and 0618E. So our focus in this video is to how to file the 1601EQ using the eBIR forms. So if you notice, again, in this template, there are 14 sheets. We have EWT summary, we have ADC, we have January to December. And then EWT summary sheet gives us the background or the entire summary of the entire year's transactions. So we have here the number of transactions, the amount invoiced, the VATable amount. So when you say invoiced amount, this is the amount appearing on the total amount appearing on the invoices. So for example, in this situation, for the month of January, I have a total amount invoiced of 80,000 and 75 for January and 46,000 for March. And out of this amount, okay, so ito yung mga VATable amount, yung mga amount net of the VAT. So out of this 44,000 of that is an invoice amount, an amount subjected to VAT, which subtracted na yung VAT dyan. Okay, so we also have 30,000 here, the non-VATable component. We also have here another column for the withholding taxes withheld during this month. So if you notice, for the month of January, there is a total amount of 1,873.21 taxes withheld. We also have here 2,258.21 for February and 1,458.93 for the month of March. And here, sa status, nakalagay na dyan na the months, the 061 and E for the month of January and February were already filed, okay, using this form, and the deadline was on or before February 10 for the month of January, and for the month of February, March 10. So here we are assuming we are preparing to file the 1601 EQ for the first quarter. So it is important for me here to put the BIR form para ma-remind ako always kung ano yung form na gagamitin ko. So we also have here the summary report per ADC. Okay, so later on I will discuss this portion. Let us go first to the month of March. Okay? So, ito yung mga transactions during the month. Let us say, for example, that we are transacting from XYZ company. XYZ company. Let us say XYZ company is a merchandising company and we purchased goods from XYZ company. So, we will choose ATC WC 160. Okay? So, WC 160. Just click the drop down rather, and then automatically yan siyang mag-feedback ng rate. Okay? Pag wala siyang, pag blanco lang yan siya, pag blanco yan, pag wala yung so for example here, blanco lang siya, so wala siyang rate. But if you're going to click, let's say, WC 030, ayan, may rate na automatic na ilalagay niya dyan. Okay? So, WC 160. If you are not sure of what ADC is used, so you can always refer to this sheet, ADC, ayan, and then you can select here kung ano yung ADC na applicable. So, yung ADC, ayan, ito yung income payment made by top withholding agent. Example, if in this case we are a top withholding agent, seller of goods or service is subject to WI 160 kung individual yung seller, and then WC kung corporation naman yung seller. Okay. So, but ayun nga pala, no? So, goods pala yung sinabi ko kanina. So, dapat 158 pala yun. Ayan. WC 158 pala yun. Kasi, ayan. Yung 158 income payment made by top withholding agents to their local supplier of goods, okay, other than those covered by other withholding taxes. Here, we'll also put whether the seller is VAT registered or not. So, let us assume that si seller, binigyan tayo ng invoice amounting to 6,000. Okay? And then, we have to know whether the receipt is VATable or not, whether the receipt there's the VAT registration or not. Pag sinabing VAT, ilagay natin yan siya na VAT. So, automatic na yan siyang mag-extract ng VAT component. And then, so yung 6,000, i-divide niya yan by 1.12, and then magiging 5,357. So, it will also be multiplied by 1% withholding tax. Kaya naging 3.57. So, if it is 160, okay, 2%. And then if it is non-VAT, you just put NVAT. Ayan. So, napakadali niyang gamitin itong form na to. Itong working paper na to. Every month here has a provision of 100 pagka madami yung transactions in a month, you can always extend this. You can always drag down the formula. Okay? So, we are now ready to file our withholding tax return, the 1601 EQ. So, to do that, we have to go to the EWT summary. Okay, ayan. So, if you notice, yung amount dito, naging 52,000. So, paano yan naging 50,000? Go back to March and add this together. Ayan, yung 15, 16, 10, 5, and 6. If you notice here sa baba, nakalagay dyan yung sum na 52,000. Okay? And yung total withholding taxes naman is 1,512. So, if you go to the EWT summary, yan, 1512.50. Automatic na yan siyang mag-update dyan. So, here, let us say, blank muna yan, okay? Para mas, ayan, blank muna yan dyan. Let us say, blank muna yan. Kasi sa 1601 EQ, we need to summarize all transactions under each ETC. Gagamitin natin yan sa 1601EQ. Okay? So, to do this, okay, kung blanco pa yan dyan, to do this, all you have to do is to go to each month. So, ayan. So, tingnan natin dito. Yung mga ATC dito is may ATC WC 100, 158, 160, and WI 011. So, all you have to do is to use this also. Is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the EWT summary. Okay? So, you will choose, ano nga ulit yun? For the month of January, we have WC 100, WC 158. So, choose WC 158. Saan na yun? Ayan. So, automatic niyan siyang summarize lahat ng WC transaction 158, WC 158 transactions for the month of January, February, and March. And also, we have WC 160, right? So, WC, WC in yan. So, WC 160, ayan. So, again, if you will choose one ATC here, automatic niyan siya magsasummarize lahat ng ATC under WC 160 for the month of January, February, and March. Okay? So, dito, wala pa siyang nakalagay kasi wala pang transactions. Okay? Empty pa yan. Okay? Wala pang nakalagay dyan. Kaya kaya zero pa yan dyan. Pero once you enter the transactions here, lahat ng WC 158 mag-appear dyan. Okay? Dito. And then, also, another we have was WC 100. So, again, piliin natin yung WC 100. Ayan. So, ano pa ba yung nakalimutan natin? So, WC 100. Okay. And then, WI 011. So, WI 011. So, madali lang siyang gamitin and napaka-user-friendly niya. Ayan. So, it means to say, nasa January, meron tayong WI 011. Sa February, walang ganong transaction. Let's verify kung talagang walang WI 011 sa February. So, yeah, wala siyang WI 011. But, we have WI 010 here. Okay? So, we also have to put that there. So, WI 010. Ayun. Okay. So, now that we have this already, make sure na lahat ng ATC ay andyan na-encode na siya. So, to test whether kung yan na ba talaga yung mga ATC for this month, okay, to test that, all you need to do is to add this. Okay. So, yung total niya, from the first ATC to the fifth ATC is 192,964. Okay? So, if we have to go here, i-add natin yan, ito. Okay, ito. It's also 192,964. That means, ito na. Lahat ng transactions nakalagay na dyan. Wala nang ibang ATC na involved. Okay? Again, just add this. Pag nag-match yung total niya, yung sum, again, tingnan sin sa baba, yung 192,964, ito, ayan. 192,964, yan yung total nito. And this one also, same pa din. Ibig sabihin, yan na lahat ang ATC na ginamit natin during the months of January to March. If madami kayong ATC, you can still go here and look for another ATC. Okay? If let's say, for example, WC010, so wala siyang WC010 kasi wala tayong ginamit na WC010. Okay? So, yun lang. So, now that we have this working paper already, all we need to do is just to encode this figures in the 1601. So, here, I have already the eBIR Forms open. So, I will just choose 1601 EQ. Yan. Okay. So, fill up. So, here. So, all you need to do is to click first quarter, since first quarter 16, first quarter 1601 EQ to. And then if this is an amended return, click yes. If no, so click no. So any taxes withheld, so yes, we have taxes withheld. And then leave this blank lang yung 5. And then go to category of withholding agent, click private. If you are a government agency, click government. So now we are going to choose the ADC that we have already determined in the previous working in the working paper. So all we need to do is to click this ADC. Okay? Yan. So madami siyang ATC dito. So, pwede tayo, kaya nga sa working paper, I have already prepared a summary so that we can choose kung ano yung ATC na applicable sa atin. So, we will go back to the working paper. So, we have WC 158, WC 160, WC 100, WI 011, WI 010. So, yan lahat ang hahanapin natin doon sa return. Ito. So, WI 010, WI 011, and also WC 100, WC 158, and WC 160. So, yan na yung 5 ATC na ginamit natin sa working paper. So, just click OK. And then, all we need to do is to put here the amounts. Okay? So, for WI 010, it was 20,000. So, we'll put here 20,000. And then for WI 011, ito, that's 8928.57. 8928. So 8928.57. Okay, yeah. 8928.57. And then WC 100. Okay, 40,178.57. 40,178.57. And also for WC 158, yan, 73,500. So we have 73,500. And then for WC 160, WC 50,357.14. 50,357.14. 50,357.14. Okay. Ayan na. So, here, automatic na siya mag-compute ng tax. Ang total daw is, ayan yung mga taxes, is 5,643.93. We're going to verify whether itong amount na to is the same sa working paper natin. So, that's 5,643.93. So, yeah, ayan. Nag-equal na siya, no? So, it means, tugma yung computation natin sa working paper. The next thing to do is remittances. Okay, ito yung item 20 at saka item 21. So, if there are taxes that were already remitted during first month or second month, for the month of January, we have remitted 1,803.21. So, 1,800. And for the month of February, we have remitted 2,258.21, 2,258.21. Remember, these were already filed and paid using the 061E. So that's why yung computation ng 1601EQ is cumulative. But any payments made during those months, is also credited. Okay, deducted here. So, yung total tax due is supposedly 5,643, but since nakapagbayad na tayo ng 1,873 and 2,258 on first and second month, means na yung babayaran natin, yung tax still due is only 1,512. Let's see if tama yung sa working paper natin. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin yung March na lang yung babayaran natin, yung 1,512 na lang. Ito lang siya, yung babayaran natin. So, when we submit this, when we pay this, yan lang din siya yung babayaran nating amount. Okay? So, all you have to do is to click Save and click Validate. And then after that, you can click Submit Final Copy. So after you do that, the BIR will send you an email confirming that they have received already your submission, and you can now proceed. You can now go to pay this amount via GCash or bank transfer. Okay? So yun lang, ganun lang siya kadali. And mas naging madali siya yung pagpa-file ng withholding tax, yung 1601AQ using this template. Okay? So, if you want this working paper or template, you can have this. I will give this to you for free. And then, ilagay natin to file kasi tapos na. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you learn a lot from this video. And thank you so much for watching. See you in my next tutorial. Bye!